Pony, my favorite place in North Carolina. Get ready for liftoff. Hello and welcome to the Ponyverse. I'm Helen.
I'm Lil Megs.
And today we have a very special guest, our queen of side quests, Virgo Vixen.
I'll take it.
Spin instructor, jack of all trades, retired spin instructor, and our current Thrift Pony store manager, Miss Taylor Campbell. Welcome to the Ponyverse.
Good morning.
Okay, first, before we get into our episode today, can you go through what you're wearing and your inspiration for today?
Yes, lately I've been on I just want to be comfortable. So this shirt I got from Thrift Pony. It's giving a little Y2K tease. And then I've got on just some little jeans here and some wedge foam Rocket Dog flip-flops that I got from Thrift Pony. And then I'm like a mixed metal girly, so I have on some like silver and gold doot-to-doots and some random bracelets. And that's all.
I love it. Megan, do you want to go through your outfit?
Sure, I'm wearing a pleasing shirt featuring a frog, even though I'm terrified of frogs. And then I'm wearing overalls and sneakers because I slept 12 hours last night and I needed to get dressed as fast as possible.
Are you okay?
Maybe.
We'll unpack that later. Oh, news since the last episode of the podcast, Megan got a bob.
I have a bob.
And it's kind of pink, so...
Bob
I'm coming for your brand.
Coming for my brand.
means business.
Can you, tell the story of why you got a bob?
Story is I couldn't brush my hair for 4 days. Showed up to Kinsey. I said, you gotta cut this. And she said, okay. And I said, you gotta cut it before you even dye it. She's like, okay. And we chopped it all off.
Kenzie's are... Both Megan and I go to the same hairstylist. And she's right next door to the store.
Yeah.
So... Shout out to Kenzie.
Love you, Kinsey.
Okay,
what are you wearing?
I was feeling like a silly goof today, so I'm wearing my silly goofy hat. Also because I cut my own bangs again. And they kind of look really stupid. So I said, I'm going to wear a hat today, even though it's 100 degrees outside. And then I'm wearing this little jacket I got at Thrift Pony last week. It's green and it has this fuzzy trim and it feels very like zany. Zany is the word that I would describe my outfit today. And then this dress that I got at the vintage market last Friday from Supernova City. She's one of my favorite vintage vendors. She always has really cool Euro stuff. I don't know if I've shouted her out on here before, but I love her. This really cool dress is just a little big and my boobies fell out, so I had to wear a jacket over it. And then just like chunky little slides. And I picked off
I was gonna say that. I noticed
I had to
one man.
Yeah, I picked off my manicure because I have an appointment this morning with Delaney, who's in Kenzie's salon, Kenzie's little sister. And she was like, oh, will you have nails on when you come in? And I forgot that I said no, but all my nails were still on, so I had to pick them all off. Because I hate sitting in the chair waiting for them to take them off.
I also go to Delaney and I told her yesterday, I said, be prepared. Helen's gonna be awful. She's gonna be squirming. She can't sit still. And she was like, yeah, I do my sister's nails. I'll have to put on a movie for her to sit still or something like that.
I hate getting my nails done. I like having my nails done, and I'm a chronic nail biter, so I have to have them done. Otherwise I bite my nails. But I it's my least favorite thing ever. I can't. I used to get acrylics, but I had to stop because I couldn't sit still for that long. So now I'm trying to. These are my natural nails, though. They're really long.
They're healthy.
They're
healthy.
They're not healthy, but they're long.
Well,
they're paper thin.
Oh,
I peeled them off this morning because I can't go more than an hour without nails on because they'll fall off and I'll pick them off. So. Okay, I'm hot and taking on my jacket.
Okay.
Yay. Okay, so for today's episode with Taylor, we were thinking you have lived so many lives, and one thing I firmly believe in is that your life and your career is a jungle gym and not a ladder, and I think that you truly exemplify that. And I want to hear your story through all the many different jobs and career paths you've had, and how your kind of your approach mentally to all of that, and how you think about career moves and balancing life with work and outside of work. I guess work-life balance, but I hate that word.
I know, it felt like a
and how you how you prioritize your side quests and just finding joy in every day, because I feel you're really, really good at that. So Let's take it from the beginning, and can you just tell us like a little bit of background on like your life, your career, and how you ended up at Thrift Pony?
Yeah, so we'll go back to, I feel like I was one of those people that always just knew I wanted to be in fashion, I wanted to be a big buyer, all the things. But when it came time to like, where am I going to college? What am I doing afterwards? I went to community college. So I went to Central Piedmont Community College for a year. I was working at Belk at the time. I was the Vineyard Vines and Lily Pulitzer specialist while I was there. So literally I was just working. And then I was like, this is not really for me. So I went to Johnson & Wales University in the fashion merchandising and retail marketing program, and I knocked it out. I was doing like 27 credit hours, like knocked that out in 3 years, got my bachelor's of science in fashion merchandising. And then I was going to New York. Girl, I'm going to New York. I'm going to live my big Manhattan dreams. But yeah, that didn't happen. So I ended up in Green Bay, Wisconsin. And that was my first job out of college. And you're wondering, Green Bay, Wisconsin?
The New York of the Midwest.
Like what? Not even Chicago. And it was one of those things. I was looking for a job. Like I said, if I stay in Charlotte, I'm from Charlotte. I'm a native. We're not unicorns, by the way. I was like, if I stay in Charlotte, I'm leaving when I graduate. And no one would hire me. I wanted to go to New York. I was doing all the internships and all the things. No one would hire me. But I got reached out to somebody from LinkedIn about this executive trainee program for this Midwest retailer called Shopko, which they're now bankrupt. They don't exist. Imagine like a Myers, Kohl's brand. Like they carried some national brands, but mainly it was just like Realtree, all Realtree product. I mean, Realtree, cooking products, everything Realtree.
Realtree
So
cooking product.
Yeah, so that was the big
like
line.
That's like in now.
I know. So this was what, 2014.
Yeah.
So right after I graduated, 2 weeks later, we loaded up the car and we went to Green Bay, Wisconsin. That was my first time there. Found an apartment, visiting, and my dad was like, "No, why would you want to come 1,000 miles up here?" And
It's so cold.
And here I am, just like, I'm doing it. And that was my, I call it my growth year. I hated it.
Yeah.
It was so cold. The area was not diverse, so I experienced a lot in the workplace with microaggressions and just things that just did not align with who I was. So I was bound for a year, because if I had left before a year, I had to pay back all my relocation and my signing bonus. So
Sorry.
The goal was always to get to New York. So then I got a job in New Jersey. So it was close. I had a friend. It was close. I was getting closer. So Party City in the corporate office in Rockaway, New Jersey. And I would drive. I moved to Hackensack, found my place on Craigslist.
Hackensack.
Found my place on Craigslist and moved in. Didn't even meet the person. I had my ex-boyfriend at the time, like going around finding me places. And she was like, I don't know if I want to give this place to you because I've never met you. I'm like on FaceTime begging, like, please, I wanted to please. Literally, I'm like, please. It was a studio in her house. And finally, she was like, you know what? Something is telling me, I have 100 people apply, but something is telling me I should give this to you. And I'm like, yeah, you should, actually. And so I stayed there for 6 years. Like, it was like, hey, are you moving out? It was like, hey, are you kicking me out? And like, that became like my family. But while there, I was working Party City. Hated that because New York was always the goal.
What was working for Party City like? Like, what did you do specifically? Like,
it was not
I'm
fun.
Ordering like 50 kazoos.
It was not fun. Like, it was not fun. I was in inventory and like helping with some global sourcing stuff. So really it was just like making sure Winnie the Pooh, Minnie Mouse, Mickey Mouse, the big three, like those that that never ran out. Paw Patrol, really chasing after the goods. They also own Amscan, which so pretty much all the paper and cutlery products you see in all the grocery stores. Like Party City owns all of that. The Halloween stores, I think they still do.
Even if they're closed and bankrupt?
I think they've pivoted, but I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, like they owned all the paper home products like everywhere. So I was just that. And it was not fun. But I did meet some of my like closest friends now. Then I went to Macy's. Macy's corporate, worked in there as a pricing manager for 3.5 years before I got laid off.
So that was your first real like corporate fashion.
Yeah.
What was that? Because like I'm I'm curious because I've never worked in corporate fashion. Like, what was that like? What are the main differences between working at Macy's and working here?
A lot of differences. So you think working in fashion is this glitz and glam, and you're in Excel. You're in Excel, and maybe if you are an assistant buyer, associate buyer, you're touching product, but you're sticking to your calendar. You're getting yelled at by vendors, trying to please them. You're just trying to hit that gross margin, and you're in Excel.
So you would go to like whatever brand is in Macy's. I can't even think of a brand, but like whatever brand, and be like, hey, we want like 10,000 of these shorts. And then you would like say which stores they're going to, or like how does it work?
So that was more inventory because I was in pricing, which I found that most retailers don't really have a pricing department. So really that was all of our promotions and markdowns. So like we would look at the calendar. Macy's is infamous for having their 48-hour sale, which is really not a 48 hours or the 1-day sale. So like we would take all the brands. And so I think I started with like better sportswear, petite sportswear, and then I ended up in petites. I don't know. I did so many things. They are like literally they would bounce around from brands, and so we would say, okay, we want all of our shorts and bottoms to be $14.99 out the door. If they use a coupon, it'll be this. And so we had to like go back and forth. Then the vendor would be like, well, no, we don't want this certain product to be marked down. So then I had to go to my buyer and be like, bro, they don't want to mark it down. They're like, well, we need to mark it down because we need to move out. These are white shorts, and white shorts are going out because now we need to get our fall product. So like really it was just maintaining middleman in the life cycle, just moving it along and making sure we didn't have too much aged product that we could like move it on. Completely different from Thrift Pony. But I will say I use a lot of like my brand knowledge that I know of certain brands is important here.
Yeah.
Like I learned a lot, and I'm able to like use a lot of that.
Do you ever see things come through the door here where you're like, I remember pricing that in like 2016 or 2017 at Macy's?
Yeah, sometimes. Even like anything Bar 3, I feel like is a Macy's private label brand. Even just like I worked at Belk for some time, so seeing Crown and Ivy and those little those smaller brands come through. And then what's next? I've had so many jobs. We can be here all day. So let's go through the
go through maybe like your best ones and your worst ones.
Okay.
Because you worked at NBC, and I feel like that's
worst.
Oh, okay.
And I can say that now. So
like retail for NBC, like so is that like the stores?
So 30 Rock. So that was the tour, the NBC studio. So when people come to Saturday Night Live, they would go to the gift shop.
Oh, I've been in this gift shop many a time.
So have I.
And so I remember this was like, I got laid off in end of 2019, and that's 2020 was COVID. So I was looking for a job, ended up signing on in February. I came back from a bachelorette trip in March 9th. March 10th was my first day at NBC. March 11th, they said, take your laptops home. And I never stepped foot really inside of that office again.
Yeah.
And so here I am, like, first of all, grateful that I finally, like, people were doing hiring freezes and I had been laid off. And at that time, my parents were like, you need to move back. Oh, and my dad's like, can you move back home? And I'm like, oh, I'm not ready yet. Like, I want to move back on my own terms. But, like, but it's, it's expensive up there. It's cold. Like, literally, things are changing. You're laid off. You have rent, all the things. And so I never stepped foot. That was the worst job. I was there for 10 months. I quit on a random day in the middle with nothing lined up. That's how bad it was.
What made it bad?
My manager. It was like everything I did wrong. First of all, when I quit, the other girl on the team was like, 2 weeks later, she's like, yeah, I just put my notice in. I was just, finally, they hired somebody. I'm like, no, bro. So now I don't know the job. I'm doing your job, my job. And then, by the way, our store was only brick and mortar. It was that tours NBC because they had another entity, LA. So guess what? We had to take everything and build out a full e-com business.
Of like Dwight Schrute bobbleheads?
Yes, literally. Full e-com business. On me.
Yeah.
Bro, I just got here.
Yeah.
I just got here. I don't know anything. And so my supervisor, she was the worst. She was not supportive. She didn't know what to do. Then when I quit, like it had been so much, HR got involved. Like it was this whole thing. And then finally one day in the middle, she had said something crazy to me, and I closed the computer and I was like, yeah, no, I don't need this. Mind you, it was COVID, so everyone was getting furloughed and laid off, and I put my notice and I was like, you know what, that's gonna be fine. And then literally 30 minutes. I hadn't received a single LinkedIn message from a recruiter because it's COVID.
Yeah, like no one's.
Someone reached out to me like, "Hi, we have a great position. We want to interview for da 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 da." And I was like, "Thank you, God." Like that was for me that confirmation that everything was gonna be. 2 weeks later,
Yeah.
I got the job pilot. So I went to C-Store pilot Flying J, which is based out of Knoxville, Tennessee. And then that was fully remote. So then eventually I was like, okay, well, there's no point in me living up in the city. I'm not doing that. And that's when I moved back to Charlotte in the end of 2021.
And that's when we met, I think.
Yeah.
Right around that.
Yeah. I remember coming to it was raining, the first market. And I remember because I took a mirror selfie and I did a little mini vlog. I was like, "Hi, y'all. I just got back from this really cool market."
I remember because you were wearing a brown checkered dress.
Yes, I did, which is so funny because at one point I took pictures in Camp Northern with the brown checkered dress like a year or so later, and then now here we are.
Full circle. No, I remember because that was our second sale. That was the one you came to when you were like, "I want to work here."
Yeah.
Because it was like the rainy, cold one in like December, right?
Yeah, it was raining. I was raining that day. I remember I was like, I had just popped out just to go over here, just to check it out and like trying to do my whole little content bag.
Oh my god, that was your first time. You never like rented stuff because I thought I knew you from like Ponybox or.
I remember Ponybox. Actually, I did rent from Ponybox
because I feel like that's how I knew your name, and then you came, and I was like, "This."
I would just be around.
Yeah,
and we'd just be like,
"You're always around."
In the Ponyverse,
literally
before it was the Ponyverse.
And so, yeah, you put up that. I was like, "Oh, I want a part-time job." I think I made a slideshow. I made a whole slideshow of like why you should hire me. It was a little cheesy,
cute.
But
no, I was like, "Oh, she's so good." Yeah, because then you applied like I think it was like 6 months later. And sorry, I didn't put my computer on Do Not Disturb again. Please hold. Okay. Yeah, you applied like I don't know when we had been open for like 6 months, and that was when we hired like you, Bree, Marissa.
She looks like a baddie.
She does.
She looks so cute.
You're not even gonna open it.
Oh wait, the other way is.
Oh yeah, how's she gonna get in?
You didn't get up and help her.
Well, she ran away really fast. What was I gonna say? Megan's going to go let in Maria because we filmed this a little behind the scenes. We filmed this in our back room, before the store opens between like 9:30 and 11 a.m. So it's
a little crossover.
It's
some crossover.
It's usually like a lot of people coming in for work, and Maria's always early because she's good at her job.
I aspire.
But maybe next time. I was thinking it'd be fun for the next episode if we filmed it in the store.
Yeah,
but we'd have to get here real early.
That'd be good.
Let's get our shit together.
It's all right.
You can come in.
Are you still filming?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's okay. This is Maria. She's been in a lot of episodes.
Have you been in there?
No.
Yeah.
What'd you get from Dunkin'?
Sure, what's your order?
It's a hefty drink.
What's that mean?
Oh,
It's like 2 hazelnut shots, 2 caramel swirls, 3 creams, 2 sugars.
Yummy.
Well, Taylor and I got. What did we get?
Oh yeah, this episode of the Ponyverse is brought to you by
Sponsored by?
Tipsy Pickles Coffee Bar. Yes, they're a pickleball restaurant, but they also have really good coffee with. They have a lot of really fun flavors.
It's just fun.
Yeah.
What did we get?
Honey lavender.
I got honey lav.
Yeah.
Almond.
You got almond milk. I got oat milk.
She
But they have
got
really good
hearts on hers.
pistachio. They have like a cupcake one and like a peach cream. They have so many fun flavors.
Yeah.
So
Peachy drink.
shout out to the other
Strawberry one?
TP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
TB squared.
Yeah.
They poisoned me one time.
Oh yeah. Do you want to tell that story?
Well, okay. I was a vegetarian for like almost 8 years, I think. And Helen, we did like a group bonding thing of
Thrift
everyone
Pony,
at Thrift
yeah.
Pony at Tipsy Pickle. And
Pony pickle.
yeah. And Helen and I both ordered their like crunch wrap. And I got the vegan chorizo. And Helen got the chicken. And they like brought it to us and they said, vegan chorizo. I said, me. And even on the plate it said VC. And Helen said C. I started eating it. I was like, wow, this is a really good meat
I remember you
substitute.
asking me, you were like, what's chorizo? And I was like a sausagey thing. And you were like, huh. but at the same time, everyone was arriving. So we were like distracted. And I do remember eating mine and being like, weird that there's quinoa in this.
And it was so freaking. We were both so hungry. I don't think either of us
we like
ate
were not
all
paying
day.
attention.
But the thing is, I was like, this is such a good substitute.
I was not paying attention.
And then I let Bree, who is also a vegetarian, take a bite, and she's like, "Oh yeah, that's good." And they got vegan chorizo too, Bree and Carmen. And I was like, "That's not what mine looked like."
And I was like, that's what mine looked like.
And then I had the worst stomach cramps ever. Like, it was just felt like a period cramp times 10 up in my throat. And then
and then it hurricane rain and you got diarrhea.
I didn't get diarrhea.
Oh, you just got bad tummy. We just thought you were gonna get diarrhea.
Yeah, I just had really bad stomach cramps. And then like a month or two later, I stopped being vegetarian. Yeah. So it made me relapse.
Bacon! She had the cutest bacon.
It is like really sad. It made you relapse.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Life is
Megan relapsed on some bacon at Dino's restaurant, which is the most underrated breakfast place in Charlotte. Except I didn't say that because I don't want to blow it up and ruin it.
Too late.
To our millions of listeners.
Yeah. There's 5 people listening. Alex, Kinsey.
My mom. My grandma, even though she doesn't really know what a podcast is. She was like, what's this Ponyverse business? I was like, it's just me talking. And my brother was like, it's like a radio show. And she was like, what? And then she was like, it seemed really inappropriate. And I was like, what? Like, because she only sees our clips. And I was like, I don't think any of them have been inappropriate. Gay Love Island, I guess, but like, that's not inappropriate.
That's funny because I was trying to think of a joke earlier. I'm not going to say it. Never mind.
Wait, say it.
I don't know. The punchline was gonna be something about butt chugging, and I was like, that would be hilarious on the podcast. But I couldn't think of a joke to bring it up at all.
Yeah, bring back butt chugging.
What's that?
It's like when it was very. Call back to our last episode about spring breakers. It was very like 2015. I feel like in college, I feel like I never like saw anyone butt chug, but like it was always like about to happen. I feel like at parties, people were like, yeah, like, let's butt chug this. And it was like when you would drink through, you'd pour like alcohol in your butt because your like butt absorbs it faster. So you could get really drunk on like just a little bit of like beer in your butt.
Change the topic, please.
Anyway.
I'm disturbed.
So you worked for a nonprofit.
Yeah, I did. So, some more jobs happened between that. Then I went to work for a nonprofit, and that was completely rewarding, but that was like the hardest I've ever worked. It just was a different brain. Like, I had to unlearn a lot of that corporate stuff. And so the organization I worked for, we helped elderly. We had the feeding program, helped with wills, trust estate planning, just all the things. I really got to be really involved in the community. And I learned so much about myself. Yeah, that was a time there. I just feel like that whole year was a blur. Everything that was happening, even how that opportunity came by was just I knew somebody. They were like, hey, I have an opportunity. This is something you want to do. I was like, I'll try it out, and, volunteered for a little bit. And then I started to work there and then became full time. And so almost every opportunity that I've had has honestly not been given to me, but like somehow someone mentioned me or thought of me or considered me. And I think when we talk about like side quests, that's like something I enjoy doing, is just being in different places and spaces and meeting people and talking to people and just genuinely connecting with people. And I think that's been like one of my relationship equity is one of my biggest assets, I'd say. Even how I just think the timing of how me falling into this role, y'all. Side note. Side note. All right. So I was working at another company.
Sorry, the phone's ringing again.
We're not open.
We're not open. So I was working at another company here in Charlotte, and that job, it wasn't for me. All the things. I'm not going to get into everything that happened, but that job, it wasn't for me. And so I remember I was like, you know what? I just need a job. So y'all, I got a job, probably the shortest stint I worked somewhere.
Like
sales
1 week?
4 days.
4 days.
4 days at Yelp as a sales associate. I think I got hired on the spot, and so I'm there. And it's the first day. 5 minutes into it, I was just like, bro, this is not for me. They're on there like, we're gonna for cold calling and all these things, and I'm just like sticking to it because I was just like, you know what, I just need a job, you know, I don't know what I need to do, but this is just something I can do for a little while. I think I had text Helen. I was like, hey, can I have more hours? Because this is a no. I'm going to quit. She was like, wait, you just started 4 days in. And she was like, well.
And that exact day was the day that Megan Ames, who had been our previous store manager, like took me out to coffee and was like, I'm moving back to Ohio. I'm leaving you guys. And I was like, and I had been thinking, I think it was before you texted me, but I was like, oh, like Taylor would be perfect for this. And then you texted me and I was like, the stars are aligning. Like, this is so perfect. And then
it was not weird, but like, I felt like we had to keep it like kind of hush for like.
Well, it was because Megan was like, I'm leaving, but in like 2 months. So
so like we didn't really like say any like thing. And then people were making comments to me like, oh, you've been here a lot more. And I was like, yeah. Just hanging out, just doing my thing here. And then at one point, Lil Megs was like, you know, I know, right? I was like, oh, she was like, why are you, she was like, why are you being weird? I was like, I didn't know. I didn't want to like, I just didn't know it was the thing. And then, I think I remember starting, I was like crashing out to Meg. I was like, everybody's going to hate me. I was like, everybody's going to hate me. And like, I was just like all in my head about everything. And then now, like, is this about almost 2 months in, I'm really finding my flow, I feel like. And, but I just remember that first week, somebody had texted me something about like the schedule, and I'm like, what you text me from? I'm like, oh, that is me. I'm like, I was like, they were like, hey, I'm gonna be. I'm like, oh, and I'm like,
I don't care if you're going on vacation.
I was like, oh yeah, that is me. And so like there were a few of those moments where I was just like, okay, everything's fine. But yeah, so here we are.
What's like the hardest part so far about managing Thrift Pony?
It's not hard. I think it's not even a challenge. It's just really just balancing the schedules and just making sure we're covered, because honestly, no 2 days are the same. Like last Friday, I mean, y'all, it was so busy. She said Monday it's just really trying to find that sweet spot of like the amount of coverage, what's really needed. We have an amazing team. Shout out to everyone on the team, especially like some of our new hires. They're killing it. Maria. And so it just makes it a lot easier. So I wouldn't say it's hard per se. I think also I'm still developing what my leadership style is and how I want to show up. And we're just in a lot of transition and growth, which all good things. So it's just me trying to show up and be the example.
Yeah. You're doing great.
Thanks.
I was thinking about it. We're a very like earthy leadership team because you guys are both Virgos and I'm a Taurus. So just something to think about.
Cool as a cucumber.
I think that means we get along. I was looking at Megan and my co-star thing, and it was like our compatibility, and it was like really good to like something, and then there's one part of it that's like really not compatible. And it was like you getting like worried, like anxious if I like don't agree with you and like spiraling. And I was like, wait.
What happens every single day?
But yeah, no, it's been so great having you here. I wanna talk a little bit about your side quests, because like obviously Thrift Pony like community is a big part of our business, and like I personally think that like connecting with your community like kind of like cures depression and like is like I think it's like a missing piece in a lot of people's life in terms of like fulfillment and joy. So can you talk about some of your side quests that you've been doing, I don't know, this year, for the past year?
One of them's very random. I became a cycling instructor, and that, rest in peace, adrenaline, always in my heart.
The studio she worked at closed.
It did, and that was an unexpected like community blessing. It was right around the time where I was working at the nonprofit and into the other job, and I was just under a lot of stress, and I would go in and clip on the bike and ride out at Adrenaline Plus. And the beautiful thing about that, we would stay 45 minutes after class yapping, and that was every single class. So that became my community in that space. And it didn't feel like we're going to work out and get stuff. It was just like, no, I can't wait to go see my friends and yap on the bike and party. And then I set a goal like, you know what? I think I could do this. And then I was trained and became a cycling instructor. And that was like the most rewarding thing or something that I was so proud of, because it was in a season where like I feel like since 2019 every single job that I've had or something, it just didn't work out. And I'm trying to get in my head, I'm like, okay, I'm 32, like this is happening, this is, I don't have all these things. And when you start to get into that like loop of like where timelines of what society says you should be and where you currently are, and those don't align, I had to like snap out of it and be like, you know what, look at all you've done, look at all you've accomplished, you've lived, you've traveled, you've done all the things. And so having that accomplishment was something that was really rewarding for me, and those spaces were meaningful. And then also too, just like getting involved with what's around me. So like I'm involved with Melissa and Kicks and Froze, that community, which is a women's sneaker community, just like a hub and space. And so through that, there's different events there. I have a friend who does an event called Kin Space, which is just like a third space. So they do like terranium events or planting events and terranium.
So cute.
And so finding like little pockets within, I would say, hobbies or just trying new things, I've found that community has carried me in more ways than not. Like I find myself like, okay, I am a single woman, like it's on the weekend, it's just like I'm booked and busy.
You are.
I'm booked and busy. And I'm not even saying that to be like, oh, I'm booked and busy, but like I am.
What's that? You went to like a it was like a hoedown.
Oh,
like
even down to I would go to like the trail rides. So like there are these trail rides that'll pop up. I'm pretty sure, I don't know which side of TikTok you're on, but I would go to the hoedowns and the trail rides.
Like, what is it?
It's just, I would say a celebration, right? A party in the pasture. So like horses in the daytime, it's like horses and children activities and games, and then at night it turns into a good old time. So people, they're doing like these line dances that everyone knows. They've got some of the country people, they got the moonshine out, they've got the fresh fish and music, and it's just like celebration of like Black cowboy culture. And within that, I'm like, I had no idea. I went to my first one last year. I had a ball. Like it's 12 a.m. I'm eating hot fish with dust all over my boots. And life is worth the living. I am like having a ball. And I just feel like that was something that I would have never experienced until I just stepped a little foot out or explored a little bit more. And being from Charlotte, as a native, there's so much discourse about old Charlotte, new Charlotte. I had to find my identity as an adult here because it was a totally different city. Like I was here pre-Epicenter days. Like I knew what that looked like pre-LoSo, pre-everything. First of all, what's LoSo? But that's neither here nor there. So like really finding my identity through community and then just connection with people. Like I've been involved with the Urban League, which is another organization here, which is like more for young professionals. They do a lot in the community. And even just random like doodads. I've been to like an Inner Circle event. I've been to a 704 party, which they have things to foresee, a community in connection. And with that, a lot of friendships have been formed and just another sense of fulfillment. And then also I'm very involved with church. So like I work on a social media team there. And then Charlotte Black owned, I do marketing and social media for them. And what else? Just all the things. But through all of those things have really carried me. And it's just an addition. So like when I think about right now how full my life is, it's not necessarily about like how much money's in my bank account. It's about like how rewarding and fulfilling I can be in different experiences. And I think that's really cool.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yay.
Talk about Cowboy Carter.
Ah! Y'all, if you didn't know, you don't know, but I am a Beyonce stan. Like I am the Beehive, okay? I'm the Beehive. Renaissance, I went to 3 shows, and I'm not saying that to brag. That's probably like actually irresponsible of me looking back on it, but whatever. I went to Toronto, which is the first leg of the North American tour. Side note, I think it's funny when people talk about what show they went to. They talk about it like it's like a thing. Like, I went to Atlanta night 1. I went to Atlanta night 3. Like, it's a thing. So I went to LA night 1. And then I went to Charlotte day of, because like I didn't have tickets, but I'm like, man, she's in my city. I've seen her twice, but like I gotta go. So me and my best friend were in the nosebleeds, and we bought tickets for I think $80.
Oh,
we were already dressed on our way to the stadium, and we got our tickets, and it was a ball. But for Cowboy Carter, I didn't know if I was gonna go. Like, I remember that was right around the time that job transition, the whole like yoke thing, and
I don't know if it's responsible.
I was like,
go.
I was like, everybody was like, you should go. I was like, you know what? I just think you should go because guess what? Money's gonna flow to you. Like, it's coming back. And I was like, yeah. So the tickets were bought, and I was just like, wow. Now I got to get to LA and do all the things. So ended up having the best time ever. We had amazing seats. Like, literally, right after the floor seats, we were right there. I had my infamous wig on. Like, my outfit was from Thrift Pony. I had this beautiful Western, like, jeweled top. Everything came together. And then most recently, I went to Atlanta night 3, which is the night that Jay-Z came out. It was just amazing. And so it was Friday, and me and my friend Erica, we were talking about, like, man, I kept saying, like, y'all, I just need to go again. And Ellen was like, you should go. You were like, should I go? But then we had the market thing. So we were looking. We saw tickets. They were $99. I was like, okay, cool. Then they went up a little bit, and I was like, we should go. And Eric, she was like, yeah, we should go. And I'll drive. And I was like, oh, that's all you had to say. $140 for the ticket. And then right after the tickets were purchased, somebody had consigned a Western shirt, like a black, like the most perfect shirt. I tried it on, it fit me. I was like, oh, babe,
it's meant to be.
Oh, babe,
it's meant to be.
However, we'll never drive to Atlanta, go to Beyonce concert, and drive straight back again.
Oh, you didn't stay
because it was my friend. I got a meeting at work in the morning, 8 a.m.
Old.
So we'll never do that again. That was the worst drive of my life.
Yeah.
I already hate that drive, but we did it, and now I have endless memories, and it was like the best. Obstructed view seats, which were not obstructed, amazing seats, $140, and I have memories for a lifetime.
That's exactly how I feel when Harry Styles was doing Love on Tour. I went to the first show of Love on Tour in Vegas. It was on my 20th birthday. Me and my sister flew out to Vegas just for the weekend, and oh my god, I remember just feeling so much adrenaline and excitement, and then the next day I was like, I can't not see him again. So I bought tickets to go see him in Philly, and then my friend got me a ticket to go to Raleigh. And then me and my sister the following year went to New York to see him at Madison Square Garden. It was my first time going, and we got pit tickets because my dad is the best and he got us pit tickets. And then my sister was pregnant at the time, and she passed out the day before, like in the day. Long story, but I was like, oh my god, we have to go see Harry Styles. But like, it was, I treasure those so much. And like, a lot of my friends, I have like bonded and created memories with them by going to concerts like that, especially when it's someone that you really, really love. And like, I don't know, it's just something about the excitement and the environment where everybody's just happy to be there. It's just
the energy. It's palpable.
Like, you can't. I feel like you can't, unless they've felt it. You can't explain that. So when people be like, "Wait, is it the same show?" It's not the same show.
It's not.
It's not.
I was in Club Britney for the first one. I was in, like, it's not the same show. And the post Beyonce concert depression is really real. But I always leave, I don't know about you, but I always leave feeling super inspired, super creative, just like really ready to like recharge my inner UNIQUE, my inner unique.
Well, also, like, I felt this way after seeing Taylor Swift, but I was like, they're just a person.
Yeah.
Like, I could do that.
Oh, no. I do not relate.
But I'm like, there are people, like, it's like Beyonce, but like, it's like, after seeing her, you're like, she's doing that.
She just
like, look at her doing that.
She works.
That's amazing.
I can do that and more. And I think, more. So like that's my thing.
Wait, can I ask? Okay, I want to like segue into talking about fashion. So you kind of explained this to me, like, I don't know, last week or whatever, when we were doing the Cowboy Carter event. But like, can you talk about the difference between like Renaissance fashion, Beyonce Renaissance fashion, and Cowboy Carter? And like the key elements of both.
I would say Ray was all about to me, alien superstar. So it was like your glitz, your glam, very futuristic. So the silvers, the metallics. I think I wore to the Charlotte show. I had a one shoulder green metallic skirt with a black asymmetric skirt and some combat boots. And then for Club Rennie, I had this like not taffeta. What's that material?
Velvet?
No, it was like the little shaky jacket. No, it was tinsel. I had a tinsel. I had a silver metallic tinsel bolero and some metallic and purple boots. So it's very futuristic, very alien superstar, very overly extra. And then to me, Cowboy Carter is Western. And when I say Western, I mean Americana. A lot of the themes. And I try to stay true to like the red, white, and blue themes. Almost high-end bolo ties, high-end intricate designs, textures. So people had on chaps. They had cow print. They had zebra print. Honestly, any type of animal print. There was like a high-end tease to it.
Like elevated,
very elevated, true, like fabrics, boots, leathers, just like very like I am settled, I'm reclaiming all the things. And then there was the Americana piece, like, which is what I did because I was like, this is fun because I'm never gonna wear American flags, but this for Beyonce, like it was just fun to wear it and to really get involved. And when I tell you the people, they showed out. Like the outfits were so good, especially in Atlanta. LA, I was like, bruh, come on now. LA fits were not fitting like that.
Oh,
like,
really?
no. I was just like, I was like, what's happening?
It's more for like, okay, generalization. People in LA were just there for the status of going to see Beyonce. People in Atlanta really wanted to see Beyonce.
That's true. That is, and I would agree with that. And I mean, down to so many people were DIYing scarves and intricate, like making her costumes, which is not uncommon. But to me, I feel like, if any, even the men I saw at Cowboy Carter, they had on a Western shirt. The guy that was in beside Erica, he had his shirt on the whole time, and he kept doing this. So everybody was just like feeling themselves, and I felt like a little different energy than from Renaissance.
Yeah,
I feel like that's what you're describing. Fashion is exactly what Cowboy Carter the album is.
Yeah,
like just Americana, a little elevated, and just
like
feeling themselves,
higher
like
quality country music.
Yeah, that's a hot take. People agreed.
No, seriously. And then people just didn't care. I felt like there was a sense of ownership in what, like, I'm wearing I'm wearing suede and boots in 90 degrees in Atlanta. Yeah, I'm wearing a full meat.
What you gonna do?
And what?
Full milk.
Yeah.
If you could, like, trade wardrobes or steal the wardrobe of any fictional character, who would it be?
Fictional.
So like TV or movie or book.
Well, okay, it would be Raven Baxter. It's so funny growing up. Like, I've always been a like fashion girl. I used to draw like pictures of dresses at church. My grandmother used to be a part of this fashion club called the Hubba Hubba Girls, and she was born in like 1920. So like it's always been in my family. And
Hubba Girls.
The Hubba Hubba. I'll have to show you a picture. I always wanted to be Raven Baxter, and people used to say I used to like act like her when I was little because she used to do her little dances.
I still act like
and
her.
I kind of do actually. So Raven Baxter for sure. Also, I wanted a Lizzie McGuire kick too, but Raven was my girl.
I feel like they dress kind of similar.
They do.
Too. Like there's crossover.
What about
What's
you?
yours? Mine. Oh, you go next because I feel like mine off the spot. Mine would be like what I said last time, but I don't want to be boring and do that again.
Wait, did we say it on the podcast?
I think we said like our favorite like early 2000s movie like wardrobes, but like I mean mine would be Lolo Step.
I already forgot her name, but the main girl in Cabaret.
Wait, what's
No, Sally Bowles.
Yes,
Sally Bowles.
I
was looking at
show me. I don't know what it is,
the
actually.
sexy cowboy guy posted, and because it's like their end of their
sexy cowboy guy.
Orville Peck posted today on Instagram and was like, side note, Cabaret with Orville Peck. I saw it in April. It was my first Broadway show. It changed my life.
Okay, I was supposed to see Adam Lambert, but oh my god, it was his understudy. He did amazing. So,
yeah.
but no, I love. It's
I don't know what that is.
it's based in like a cabaret. It's like a brothel. So there's a lot of like lingerie and stuff. And then
And, like furs.
yeah. But the main girl, she has this one outfit where she has like a ruffly baby doll dress and a hat with like heart cutouts. I would wear that on the daily.
No,
and
it's
she has
so
a ball.
cute.
So
Yeah.
It's like baby lingerie, vintage. It's so
That checks out.
Oh my
That
God.
checks out. Even
Yeah.
like I think last week you wore it was like pink and sheer and it was like a bustier over the I was like, Megs.
We were see-through dressed with your whatever undies.
yeah.
Megan wore this like see-through slip dress, and then she turned around. You turned around because you were like pissed at us, and you were like stomping away. And then your dress was see-through, so, and your underwear said whatever, so it was just your butt, and it said whatever. And I was like, "Wait, do you do this on purpose? That's so funny." And you're like, "Oh, can you see my underwear?" I was like, "Girl, yes, your dress is see-through, and your underwear
Yes.
says whatever."
It was like, yeah, that's on brand for you.
Yeah.
Mine would be. I'm trying to think of other people. Like Adriana. No, I said this one last time too, from Sopranos.
That's fine. You
I
can say
loved
it
her.
again.
Yeah, her is like when I'm feeling like sexy and evil, and then Lila Step when I'm feeling like silly goof, but also kind of like
Yeah.
sexy and evil, but in like a quirky way. Okay, final question. If you could pick an article of clothing that describes your like where you're at, where your current mood, what would it be? And not something that like you would want to wear right now, like something that captures the essence of you in this moment.
Honestly, I feel like a jelly sandal.
Ooh.
I feel like I am just specifically I have like a caged jelly sandal. And I say that because I'm just flowing right now. Like it has little holes, little things.
A little sweaty.
A little sweaty. Like I'm finding my rhythm. Jelly sandal, if it gets dirty, you can just wipe it off because of the material. So I just feel like I'm just a work in progress, in a work in process. And that's it. Yeah.
What's yours?
Oh my god.
They love us here.
Consistent. Definitely a nightgown. I'm sleepy.
Yeah. You have
You're a
you
sleepy
slept for
girl.
12 hours.
Yeah.
I got so sleepy yesterday.
And our metering. Yeah.
Yeah.
But are you also feeling like
I just
like
want to
flowy?
be cozy and like I want to be at home. My house is like finally like comfortable. I bought a moo from the thrift store and I felt like that is like exactly. Yeah. Okay, your turn.
I think mine would be Lily's purple plastic purse. Do you remember that?
From Hannah Montana?
No, it was like a children's book or a children's character. It was okay, so it was like a children's book, but like I had the actual purse. It's like this cute little purse and it has like this girl on it. I think she might have been a mouse. I don't remember. But my mom, I was at home this weekend, like packing up all my childhood bedroom things. And my mom was like, oh, I have this. And it like reminded me, I had it when I was like 5. But I feel like I've been very like nostalgic and like reconnecting with my inner child. Like I was going through all my old like childhood memories as I was packing up my bedroom and deciding what to keep and what to get rid of before my parents move. And like, so I feel like I've been in a very like fun, colorful, silly, like childish, like prioritizing fun and like rest and happess.
You have been doing that.
Because I know that this fall is gonna be a lot of work. Teaser.
Big things are coming.
Yeah, big things are coming, maybe. So I'm like right now I'm gonna just enjoy like my time and not try and stress myself out over nothing and just have fun.
Free will.
Free will.
Free
Yeah.
will.
And Taylor inspired me because I went to a booty work dance
You
class.
did. I was just like, go to NC Dance District.
And I did, yeah, shout out NC Dance District if you live in Charlotte. Really fun dance
What was the name of the
classes.
class again?
Booty work.
Booty work, yeah.
And you can go if you don't have a booty and you don't know how to work it. And they will support you and they're so nice and encouraging and they didn't make me feel like a loser. So that's awesome.
Love that.
Yay.
Yay.
Okay. That's our episode for today. Thank you, Taylor, for joining the Ponyverse. Thank you, ponies, for listening.
Thanks.
Oh, if I want to think of another name to call them, or like I want to call them ponies, like our listeners ponies, but like I feel like we need like a extra something because everyone who comes here is a pony. We'll think on it.
Tell us where we can find
plug
you
your
on
social.
You can find me at BY Taylor Elaine on everything, TikTok, Instagram.
Venmo.
Venmo, Cash App. So I like to yap a lot. So come say hi. I'm at the store and let's be friends.
Yay. And watch us on YouTube. This episode will be on YouTube on time this week. I promise. So we love you guys. Thanks for joining us in the Ponyverse. Bye. Yay. Great.
Can I fix it?